Music is a vehicle that can take you anywhere you want to go, anytime you want to be there. No matter what you do, why you do it, who you choose to do it with or for, music will ensure that the moment is always just right. The saxophone is the luxury sports model of all vehicles that insists that you experience the ultimate groove that sets the mood for whatever you choose. Mighty Horn Music presents the COVID Concert Series with saxophonist Travis Bridges. Live from the Hollywood home studio. Smooth jazz, top 40, R&B, inspirationals, and more. Thank you for tuning in. You are now on a musical first-class journey to anywhere you want to be.
Hello, everybody. How you doing? It's another edition of Swym, Pwym. I am your host, Travis Bridges, and welcome. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today, tonight, this evening. I really appreciate it. Man, what a day. I was up at 4:30 this morning for a 9 a.m. Meeting, and that went down, and okay, so then the rest of my day kind of started from that energy, but it was okay. I made it, and here I am, here with you. I'm so excited. This is another edition of Swym Pwym. Swym Pwym is an acronym for say what you mean and play what you mean. Say what you mean, meaning when you speak, open your mouth. If you're talking to someone directly or indirectly, look at them in their eyes. If you're on the phone or if you're talking to a group, try to connect with their spirit. It's one thing to look at someone in the eye and, try to connect with them in that conversation, being present, as we would say. But it's very important to say what you mean and mean what you say. My background is in radio. I've spent a little time in radio, and I guess that is considered the communications field. And in radio, I was a disc jockey. I played records or CDs or music, and I didn't have to do too much one-on-one. At one station, I did work, and I did some news one time in the afternoon, and then I had to read some headlines on another station. But never did I have that one-on-one interaction, in a talk format. It was normally coming in and out of a record. Hey, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, and welcome to this, that, or the other, whatever the show was or the segment, or whether it was the afternoon or evening. And I would just, say my piece and introduce a record or back sell a record. I would give the weather or whatnot. You know what you do on radio. Of course, radio has changed so much since my days of radio. But I acquired some skills that caused me to be a little bit on time, caused me to be able to pay attention and stay focused. That's one I still have problems with, staying focused. I believe I had ADD or whatever that thing is as a kid, and somehow or another I managed to not necessarily grow out of it, but I still have it because sometimes I can get sidetracked. But anyway, Swym Pwym is an acronym for say what you mean and play what you mean. I just kind of tried to talk about what say what you mean derives from, or and then I'm going to talk about playing what you mean. Playing what you mean, it started from my Sunday night live stream that I used to do, the COVID Concert Series that started during the COVID time, and this is a spinoff. But guess what? I promised a couple of weeks ago that sometime in July I would be back. So I'm thinking maybe the first or second week of July, once I get situated, I will be able to come back and do some live stream again. And I'm not sure if I'm going to coordinate my live stream with my talk format, or if I'm going to just do just the live stream and then keep my Wednesday nights the same. I don't know. I will find out. But I want to say hello to Wendy, my to R Monk, to Pumpkin was here earlier, and the four other people that are in my in my chat room that are not coming on. I think I have some stalkers that check in but don't check on, and that's cool. That just lets me know that things are growing, and people are watching, and I appreciate it. So if you're here and you're not logged in, that's cool. I appreciate it. I have the topics tonight. I'm going to pick up from last week, and I'm going to tell you what they are. And I have a couple of guests that are going to come on in a few. And they're the same topics from last week because I just didn't have enough time to cover those. And I want to talk about them again. And they are as follow. Carolyn Hines is also here with WB and R Monk. Why is cussing so bad? The truth not being enough. Not waiting for the perfect time to make a change. Not quitting when we hit a wall or obstacle. And then what I heard my one of my mentors, Les Brown, he says, you don't have to be great to get started, but you do have to get started to be great. So I'm going to talk on those. And I was giving my guests the opportunity to pick from those topics, and then we would just go down the list and check them off as we go. But this is what I'd like for you to do if you're just kind of joining me and you're kind of warming up to me a little bit. This is all new for me. As I said, I spent some time in radio, and this is nothing like what I do in radio like I used to do it. This is kind of talk, so I'm kind of a little nervous about it, but that's okay. It's what I'm doing. But I've got some ideas, some things I'm going to be doing. I don't have any music. My intro is from my music intro and not my talk. But I'm going to be fixing all that stuff over the next few weeks, and you'll watch and see how it grows, because I have some ideas in my head that I can't do. I'm just kind of allowing myself to get in front of the camera and get comfortable with talking and coming on. The purpose of why I'm here. Tabitha Dow, how you doing? Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And my buddy Anthony Morrow is back. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Again, if you'd like to chat with me, I'd appreciate it. You can send me an email to travisbridges2@aol.com. That's Travis Bridges and the number 2 at AOL.com. Put call me in the subject, and in the body, just tell me what you'd like for me to talk about, or tell me that, to call you, and I'll call you and we'll discuss it. And the reason I'm opening myself up like this, not because I'm trying to play psychologist or psychologist. I believe that I've either developed the gift, or I'm starting to come into understanding that I have the ability to analyze things, and not because my way of analyzing is good or best or better than anyone else's, but I think there's some keys to communicating, especially when there's what is the word? When there's problems, when you have issues, when you have disagreements, and they need to be solved. And I think that every situation can be solved if we take the time to listen. And there are certain filters that it's important to listen by. And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. And again, I don't want anyone to prove me wrong. I keep saying this. I'm going to figure out a way to put that in my live stream, so that it doesn't sound like I'm having to apologize every time. But I don't want anyone to prove me wrong. But I'd like for someone to discuss with me why things are, why we don't settle issues. And I think I found a solution. Maybe it's not the solution, but maybe I can put a log on the fire, and someone else can help me, and we can make the whole room warm. What I'm saying is, how you listen, when you have conflict, and how you analyze whatever it is being presented, is how you reach a resolve or find a solution to the problem. My son Travis Bridges Jr. is in here. Thank you so much. I appreciate the support. Where you been all this time? Are you taking a little break right now? I appreciate you joining me. But I'm going to try to get back to one of my callers. Let me just set this up. My format, YouTube here, is kind of doing something different, and I have to monitor it. I don't have engineers. I'm my own engineer. But I'm going to get a caller on. Again, my topics tonight, if you'd like to throw some comments in there, please do so. Again, why is cussing bad? The truth not being enough, not waiting for the perfect time to make a change, and not quitting when we hit the wall. And I just want to discuss the quote from my buddy Les Brown that goes as follows: you don't have to be great to get started, but you do have to get started in order to be great. So I'm going to reach out to my first caller, and see if I can't get something going here. Let's see. I've got some pretty cool gadgets um, to help me maneuver through my Swym Pwym. Say what you mean and play what you be meaning when you be playing it or when you be saying it. Hello.
Hi.
How you doing, buddy?
Hi, Travis. How are you?
Not bad at all. It's been a minute. Where have you been? I'm going to give you an opportunity to explain where you've been, and then I'm going to tell you what I think about. And then I'm going to tell you what I think.
Traveling, living life.
Yeah?
Living life, yes. Yes, it feels good.
So are you going or coming, or are you back home now? Where are you? Where are you in the process?
I am at the moment home for the next few days. So right now I'm home.
Okay, so we have a few minutes tonight to rock and roll.
We have a few minutes.
Okay, I'm not going to keep you long. I have some subjects, and I want you to pick from one, and then we'll go down the list as we go. So the first one is, why is cussing bad? The truth not being enough, not waiting for the perfect time to make a change, not quitting when we hit the wall, and then if we can just expound on not having to be great to get started, but starting in order to be great. So do I need to repeat those, or did you hear them pretty good?
I heard, but you can go one step by step if you like to. I'm
Okay.
not going to hold all that in my head.
Okay, all right, cool. So let's talk about cussing, all right? This is a very touchy subject for me, and I have a lot of friends who are, good folks, and church folks even, and maybe even religious or spiritual folks. I have some of my best friends are pastors and ministers, and this is a touchy subject for me, but it's something that everybody can or has been able to relate to or will eventually relate to it, because you can't go anywhere or watch anything without hearing one of those four-letter words that is deemed not so good. So I want your opinion. Tell me why cussing is bad if you think it's bad. Do you know what I mean when I say cussing first? Let's describe cussing. What's cussing to you?
What the hell? Are you serious right now? No, that's just for him. You didn't catch that. But
I caught that, but you got to tone it down. This is a family program, so that was kind of borderline. I'm gonna need you to be a little careful with that. So tell me, what is cussing to you?
Profound language. I can't say what is cussing to me, because I do cuss. I do use choice words depending on the situation. Being transparent right now, you catch me wrong. I think I really didn't start cussing until I was 50, because I was always told that cuss. Oh no, you can't say hell. You can't say damn.
Hey, be careful now.
You can't say that either?
Hey, I'm gonna need you to be careful when you're throwing these words out there. Now, I've got a family program and we're live, and I don't want to start getting, so excuse me. So be careful. So you were saying you didn't start cussing until you were 50. So what is?
Yeah.
Okay.
See what happened? I'm sorry. Forgive me, audience, but see what happened? See what you done started. Go ahead, next.
Okay, so let me just ask you a specific and direct question. Is cussing bad, yes or no?
I don't define it as being bad. No, not to me.
And
Not anymore.
so why do you think in society we're told that it's bad?
Because it's how we were raised, and as even speaking of a young woman, women, we're not supposed to have a party now. It's not ladylike, and you're going to hell. It's Hell if you use certain words and terminology, and it's just a bad thing. Especially if you're in a church and everything, you can't use those. You can be careful of your words that you choose to speak from your mouth.
Okay.
And,
all right, I'm gonna give my spiel. I said this last week, and I'm just gonna say it again because I'm gonna stay with my story. It's the story I'm gonna stick with. I'm not going to say it's good or bad. However, I'm going to say that based on how we were raised, that sometimes it can be inappropriate. And I guess that's me softening it, not to take sides and saying it's good or it's bad, because, I want to keep all the few friends that I have. So I don't want to say it's good or bad, and no one's asked me that, and I hope no one asks me because I don't want to choose. So, but I'll say this: I just think it's inappropriate at certain times to say certain words, especially words that are known in society as to not necessarily be acceptable at certain times. So no, it's not bad because you know what? There are certain movies that I've watched, some comedy, certain movies. When I hear some of those words, I can't imagine it. Well, I'm not gonna say I can't imagine. Sometimes those words kind of do, add character to the point that someone is making. So again, I don't want to say it's good or bad. I'm just going to say I think we should be careful, with where we decide we're going to use those words. What do you think of my thinking?
I agree with that. There's a time and a place for everything.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, time to speak and a time to be quiet.
Okay. Okay, here's another one. I'm not going to keep you long because I do have more, and I can't thank you. I appreciate it when you can come on with me. You know that, right?
I thank you, and I thank you so much. I got you. I'm good.
Okay, all right.
You started talking about cussing, so.
Okay, so
thank you.
The truth not okay. Here's the next one. The truth the truth not being enough. Why is the truth not enough?
Why isn't the truth not enough?
Yeah.
Because usually, I find the truth is not.
Okay, no. Let me give you a scenario. I cannot put you out there.
Ready for the truth. We said we want honesty, we want transparency. I want you to tell me the truth. But even though that person speaks their truth, for example, truth is being told to me, but you're not ready to receive how I would respond. I don't know how I would respond to the truth. So a lot of times we're not often wanting to really face that truth at times. So give me your scenario, what you was going to say.
Okay, before I do, my sister Robin is in the house, and she said sometimes those are the only words that folks understand, and I can relate to what she's saying. Depending on where you're from, and what your background is, and if that's what you're used to hearing, sometimes you get a message to somebody by using, a certain tone, a tonality. So I can understand what she's saying. But back to your point, I kind of want to give you an example. And what caused me to pick this up, I was in a conversation with someone, and I told him something about the truth is enough, and that's all that should matter. When someone tells the truth or speaks the truth, or when the truth is revealed, that's all that matters. And this person says something to me. He said, sometimes the truth is not enough. Sometimes the truth is not enough, and it doesn't matter. And I don't want to go into the full scenario. And I thought to myself, why wouldn't the truth matter? But then you said something that was also, that caught my attention. You said when you talk about someone's truth, you've heard that saying, well, there's your side, someone else's side, and then there's the truth. When you're talking about the truth, you're not talking about someone's truth, because people can have things made up in their head. They can have something that they want to be or whatnot. So the truth is the truth, whether it's yours or not. There is something called the truth, and it is, it's untainted. It is something that maybe that has facts and that you can prove. And once the truth has been examined, you can't, what is the word I'm looking for? You can't despise, or you can't, what is the word I'm looking for? You can't, you can't reject, the truth when you hear. There's something about a good spirit, a person that has a, good energy. When they hear the truth, or when the truth is presented, somehow or another it resonate. I was saying resonate, out of habit of thinking of like the pads in my horn, resonators. But when it resonate, it's usually accepted. But I'm not going to hold you. If you want to expound on that before we go, I'll let you do that. But
I had a situation that happened a few days ago, and someone they was wholeheartedly telling me the truth, but oftentimes a person's truth, as a recipient, I'm not ready to receive that truth, because I had already made up my mind what the lie was, and they're coming to me with the lie, and I'm already charging them what's the word, guilty. You're already guilty, you're already this and you're already that, but yet they were telling the truth. But oftentimes, when truth is told, we are not ready to really receive it, or we have to ask more questions because of how our minds are programmed and how we want things to perceive as it hits our ears, because oftentimes they say the truth hurts too, and oftentimes we're not ready for that truth. So it depends on, like your sister stated, the tone, how things are being presented and delivered, which will help and aid the impact of what's being said, how we respond and how we react. Because oftentimes I tell people there's cause and effects to everything. So in doing so, you have to be ready to receive and just hope that that person is just being just as transparent as you are when it comes to right or wrong or indifference.
WB is quoting a famous a line in a movie that says, "You can't handle the truth," and then she laughs about it. But anyway, you said the truth hurts. The truth only hurts if you're not open to it. The truth should never hurt. So I'm going to let you go on that one. Listen, thank you so much. I appreciate you, right?
Huh?
I said, thank you so much. I appreciate you, right?
I appreciate you too, sir. Thank you. I'll do better.
Okay, so listen, are you're going to still be on vacation? Because I'd like to get you back. Like, I'm going to say within the next week or two, I'm going to do some things different, with my intro, and I'm going to have a better format. The last few weeks, I've just been kind of coming on and just trying to establish, what I'm doing. But I'm going to make some changes over the next few weeks here, and I'm going to try to get better at this. But anyway, I'm going to let you go. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you. And you have a blessed week.
I will.
Be safe.
Okay, you too. Take care. Bye. All right, there you go. I don't call names, but that's my good buddy there, who allows me to reach out and just to chat with me, because I do have a few people that believe in what I'm doing. Right now, I'm just kind of chopping it up, just chit-chatting. I'm hoping that I'll be able to solve some issues or help bring some light to some issues, or the way we go about solving some issues. So I'm going to get another caller on. Again, my topics tonight is why is cussing so bad, the truth not being good enough, and why waiting for the perfect time to make a change. Why not waiting for the perfect time to make a change, or not waiting for the perfect time to make a change. Anyway, if you'd like to chat with me, feel free to send me an email, travisbridges2@aol.com. That's Travis Bridges and the number 2 at aol.com, and I'll chat with you about it. So I'm going to get my other caller on the line and go from there. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. It's said that sailors cuss all the time, but not the saints. Thank you, Robin. How you been? Good.
Hello.
Hey.
How are you?
Not bad at all. I already know you're not listening because you're busier than a one-armed paper hanger. But guess what we're doing? We're picking up from last week. And you remember the topics from last week at all? If you don't, I'm not even going to put you on the spot. Why is cussing bad? The truth not being enough. Not waiting for the perfect time to make a change. And not quitting when we hit the wall. Which of those do you want to jump on?
Say the first one more time. I didn't hear the first one.
Why is cussing so bad?
Yes, that's what we talked about last week. Cussing.
Yeah.
I want to stick with that topic.
Okay. So tell me why cussing is so bad.
I think it's just when it's used. Usually when people are just cursing, saying just, curse words, they just, don't have anything else to say or don't have the right words to say. So they're not just, but when you're angry and you're cursing, I think that's when it's really bad. When you're just, saying the F word, B word, dropping the bombs. But when you're angry and you're to the top of your lungs just cursing, that's the scary part, because that's when I think you can really do some serious damage to someone. I think that's when you would be worried in public and you hear someone just cursing, just regular profanity, versus someone who's angry. That means, okay, let's pay attention to this person, because So I
So when
think
you
that's
say
why.
regular profanity, what would be irregular profanity?
Like, damn it, if you could say that.
I'm gonna need you to
Or,
be careful, okay? We're live,
yes,
and
I know.
I know you have to be careful. So that word you just said just now is considered what?
That's regular.
That's regular. So
Yes, that's just a regular word.
it's not as hard as some other words you could have chosen, is what you're saying.
Right. Exactly. Like the F word. If you say that, that's, you know, or the B word. Those are words you really don't, you have to watch out for those words. Because like I said, when the way that they're being said, they're usually said in such a harsh manner. So you want to keep yourself like, wait, what's going on? It makes you alert. Certain curse words make you alert. Well, let me speak for me. It makes me alert. And in the tone that they're being used, that lets me know, okay, this person is just using it because their vocabulary may not be too expensive, or they're just shooting a breeze, or something's about to happen in the tone that they're using those words.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So are any of those words appropriate ever?
Me personally, I wouldn't say that they're appropriate. But sometimes people slip up and say it.
Slip
You,
up?
you, you can't change that. Yeah, sometimes you may just, like I just did.
Oh, so you slipped up.
You said it before you didn't. Yeah, you said it before you thought about it. Like I said it, then I thought about it.
Okay. All right. Okay, well, let's move on. The truth,
Okay.
not being good enough. Um, I really think it's a shame that anyone would not be willing or open to hearing and accepting the truth. Um, I don't understand that. And I don't know. I'm a big dude. I can bench press 300 pounds on a good day. I can run 5 miles now with, my flip flops on. So I'm pretty tough from a physical perspective. I can do 50 push ups. That may not be a lot to someone, but I think it's pretty tough. But there's a side of me that's, a little sensitive. And uh, I, I, I don't understand why anyone would not, I think it's one of my favorite books says a fool despises wisdom. Um, is that how it goes? Despises wisdom. I think when you reject the truth, something's wrong. So tell me, why would someone reject truth?
Because they're not willing to accept it. Because in the back of their mind, they don't want to accept it. Because that means it is what it is. So if I could reject it, whether, I know I'm a few pounds overweight, but I don't want to hear that. I don't want you to tell me that. I'm not going to accept that. It's true. I know it's true, but I don't want to accept that. And it's the truth. But it's the person who you're dealing with and their acceptance of the truth. Whether they want to accept it, hear it, the truth hurts. That's what it is. It hurts. And they don't want to feel that.
Okay.
They want to be in control of, in charge of what the truth is. It's my truth, not yours.
Okay, hold on a second. You just said something. Our monk just said, whose truth? Okay, let me try to establish something. You know the saying that goes, there's three sides. There's his side, there's her side, and then there's the
right
truth.
side.
When you start getting into whose truth, and I tried to, well, when you start getting into that, that's when you get into, I guess the trouble, or that's where you get into where the conflict gets a little thicker. It gets deeper. But and I guess the truth can be subjective in its own way, which is why I say we should run truth through certain types of filters. I guess that's why court system have, certain ways that they examine evidence for truth, so that they can get to the bottom of, whatever is being, um, whatever the topic is. Um, but when you say whose truth, I'm going to try to decipher what she's saying. I don't know. There's only one truth, and the truth can be, what is. The truth has to do with purity. What's true? If I'm on the scene, um, of an accident, and I'm sitting on a park bench maybe, and I see a car run a stop sign, and then I see another car that was halfway in the intersection, and then another car T-bones this car, and then the person who ran the stop sign says, "Well, this person pulled out in front of me," and they say something. That's their truth for whatever their motive is for not admitting that they um did
Wrong.
run a stop sign or wrong. You can say wrong in this case. So if someone says, something different from what actually happened, then I guess that would be considered their truth. But there's only one truth, and the truth is what actually happened. So I guess that's why eyewitnesses are somewhat credible, in court anyway. So if I'm sitting on the park bench and I saw it, and then I get petitioned to go to court, and I get examined by the police, and then they say, "Oh, yeah, sure, I'll come and say what I saw." Um, and I say, "Well, yeah, I was sitting there and I saw this red car go through the stop sign while the blue car was halfway through the intersection." I think my credit is going to be, especially if I take oath and say, "Yes, this is the truth. This is what I saw." And then after, both sides get to tell their story, and the car that says that they didn't run the stop sign, they're on the spot. But then there's surveillance, from a neighborhood camera that shows the car
Right.
actually running the stop sign. That is what would be considered the truth, because this person will get on the stand and say one thing, to avoid, like I said, whatever their motive is. They will say one thing, but the truth is what actually happened. And an eyewitness, you know, um, screech marks, in the streets. You can do measurements to find out who did what, the way a car has
Right.
been impacted, and those are the filters that I'm talking about. You can do those same filters apply when anytime you're presenting something. You can run the truth through, whatever those filters are to get to the bottom of it. And sometimes, being willing to, um, I don't know. Anyway, I'll just stop. So,
Accept the truth.
huh?
And that's what you're saying, accepting the truth.
Yeah, I guess. Um, anyway, um, um, I'm gonna get on to Nadine, unless you want to say something else about that. Um,
No,
not waiting
we'll
for
leave
the.
that line.
Say it again.
We'll leave that line. We'll
Okay,
play
let
that
me
later.
see what our monk says before I get off this topic. The truth from
Yes.
their perspective. You are on the outside watching, so what you see is not exactly what they see. Video footage would be evidence, not truth, but evidence used to determine facts. Yeah, of course. That's why, sometimes you have to, a person who has a motive to have a different story from the truth, will need as much evidence as possible. Which is why you have to examine it, for what it is, and then be okay with, what comes out. I'm gonna move on from that. Uh, but Robin says those are what they thought they saw. What you thought you saw can't be factored. You if you're honest with yourself, you can't say what I thought I saw. You either see something or you don't. So the word thought kind of throws me off. So thank you, Robin, but I'm gonna kind of pass on your comment. Not quitting when we hit the wall, or not waiting for the perfect time to make a change. Um, when you need to make a change, when you need to do something different, oftentimes we'll say, well, I'm going to wait till this happens. I'm going to wait till something else happens, wait till a different time, wait till the kids grow up, wait
Right.
till, something when we need to make a change. I'm going to wait till I get a new pair of sneakers before I go to the gym.
Yep.
Or I'm going to wait
That's
till
me.
after the family reunion, after Big Mama's, upside down cake before I, change my diet.
Start my diet.
Right. I'm gonna start Sunday. Sunday I'm gonna start. No, wait, okay, I'm gonna start Monday. I'm gonna start tomorrow. Um,
Mhm.
we wait for the perfect time when you realize you need to make a change, and I'm saying you, talking to myself too. Um, making that change, whatever the motivation is, some people can go hear a sermon, somebody can read a book, someone can see something happen to someone else, somebody can get counseling and make a change. But if we know we need to do something different, waiting for the perfect time is just an excuse. And I guess I'm guilty of it too, of course. But I just want to put it out there that waiting for the
I know
perfect
I'm
time.
guilty of it.
Say it again.
Very. I'm very guilty of it.
Yeah. Well, I just want to encourage you to analyze yourself and don't wait for the perfect time to do something that you know is going to be beneficial for you or those around you. One of my trainers said this a long time ago. Ali, if you're listening, thank you for this. It's been with me for a long time, and he was quoting someone else. But this is where I often heard it in the beach boot camp. He would say, no matter how long you've traveled down the wrong path, turn back. And it would be silent for a moment, and he would repeat it again. He would say, no matter how long you've traveled down the wrong path, turn back. So when you know you need to make a change, it's hard sometimes because habits are hard to break. But
Yeah.
I'm just going to put it out there, and I'm going to take the advice for myself. When we look at our lives and we examine, where we are and where we want to be, we realize we need to make some changes. Go ahead on and step up to the plate and make the change and be strong in it and see yourself not only to it but through it. Anyway, I'm gonna let you go now because I appreciate you so much.
All righty. I will chat with you next week this same time.
Anything you want to throw on top of that pile?
No, it's just stay encouraged and keep doing what you're doing because it does matter and someone is listening. Remember that.
Okay. Hold on a second. I want to try something. Oh, I told you I'm making some changes. Making some adjustments. So within the next couple of weeks, I'm going to make some changes. I'm working on my third CD, and I'm going to start writing that book. I have an appointment with my editor on Monday afternoon at 2 p.m. We're going to sit down and we're going to actually start writing. We have the plan together as to how we're going to
Wow.
do what. So Monday at 2 p.m., we're going to actually put the first words down. So I have someone that's going to help me with, organizing and editing, and I'm going to kind of submit what I have already, and we're just going to go for it. And I'm going to be honest with you. Let me just say this before I go. My background is radio, and I still today I write script and I do voiceovers and I edit. And anytime someone gives me a script or they give me bullet points, I never know what's going to come out of it. But I know what I'm going to put into it, and I know it's going to be my best. And 99.99999% of the times I produce, a commercial, it ends up being, acceptable, and the clients are usually happy with it. And I'm going to take that same attitude, about, this book. I've never written a book before, and I do have a lot to talk about, and I've got something more recently to talk about, even more so. So I'm kind of excited about what's going to come out of me, how it's going to come out of me. And I've been threatening to do it for a long time, but now I'm in that place of where I've set aside, the time to do it. I've planned to do it for a long time, and now I'm going to actually start. So do me a favor, send out some good energy and keep me prayed up, okay? Because in addition to,
Definitely.
writing the book and, working on my project, I've set this time apart just to do this. So I'm going to improve my live streams too. I'm going to beef them up a little bit and put some muscles on them.
Okay.
So anyway, I'm gonna let you
Well,
go.
I'm here for you. I got your back.
I know
That's
you
the
always
thing.
have been. You've been a big sister to me in a bunch of ways, and I'm probably have told you 1,000 times. I'm just gonna tell you one more time. Thank you so much for loving me, and thank you so much for believing in me and being my friend and like a sister to me all these years. I'm gonna start crying now in a minute. Something in my eye. Hold on. Okay. I'm okay. But just thank you for being my friend. I don't have a lot of friends, and I'm just gonna say thanks, and I'm gonna let you go. But have a
And
good
you are so
good week.
welcome, and we love you.
I love you too. We'll talk soon.
All right. Have a
Okay.
good one.
Bye. Okay, I have one more caller I'm going to get to, and time is flying right about now. Listen, let me tell you why I'm here. I'm here because I believe that everything can be settled if we take the time and if we're open to it. There's ways you can ask questions. There's ways you can be consistent. There's ways you can examine information and evidence in every situation. Even if if you have kids and they tell you something and it may not quite sound right, you can get to the bottom of it if you're open to it. Husbands and wives, neighbors, I'm going to go so far as to even say nations, there's just too much conflict, unnecessary conflict. People not speaking to each other and not talking to each other, and it's just not necessary, and it does something to my soul. I try to be a tough guy, but inside of me is a kind of a sensitive person too, and I like to see good things go on. And there is a difference between good and evil. There is a difference between black and white. There's a difference between up and down, north, east, west, and south, all of that. And we want to be on the right track with wherever we're going. If we want good, if you're going to admit to being good, then show yourself to be good. If you're going to be bad, then your fruit is going to show that too. So I just like getting to the bottom of, conflict in a calm and decent and fair way. Um, so I believe I have the ability to analyze it, and I'm not going to stop until I find out exactly why I'm here. I think I'm here just to talk because maybe I like to talk, but I'm going to find some subjects. And I was even saying to my life coach, my friend, it's like, when I come on my live streams, I'm trying to be a little careful. But I've had a few topics, a few conversations with a few people. If you go to my YouTube channel, there's some pre-recorded conversations that I had that were not live, where I kind of became more of what I kind of want to do in terms of examining what we actually say and kind of sticking to it. I'm not going to talk about the topics. If you are a subscriber of mine, then just check out some of those topics. I've even edited them and put some voiceovers with them, and that's where I'm eventually going. As I said, I'm kind of warming up now, but there's going to come a day when I'm going to go back to these moments where I'm kind of stuttering through, and I don't despise small beginnings, and I know that this is kind of small because of my preparedness every week and how I'm coming on. Not a whole story, but I'm going to get to my other caller because it's about time to go. If you'd like to chat with me, or if you'd like for me to address a subject or a scenario, TravisBridges2 at AOL.com. Travis Bridges, the number 2 at AOL.com. You are tuned into Swym Pwym. Swym Pwym is an acronym for Say What You Mean and Play What You Mean. I will be returning to a live stream sometime in July, and I'm kind of excited because I haven't done it in a while. So I'm going to be playing my sax again once I finish getting set up and doing some more stuff with the live stream. In the meantime, I'm going to get another caller on the line right about now. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Let's see. Woo, baby, baby. Here's hoping you had a wonderful day and you're going to have a great day tomorrow. When you get up in the morning, start saying something good. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hey there.
Hi, Travis.
How you doing?
I'm doing fine. How you doing?
Not bad at all. We've got about 16 minutes. Did you finish what you were doing?
I did. It was great.
And you're free right now.
I'm free.
I don't like to use the term free. People ask me sometimes when you're free. Part of me is, the sarcastic me say, no, I'm not free. I'm very expensive. As a matter of fact, I'm priceless. So I apologize for asking if you're free. Why don't I back that up? So, hey, are you available?
I'm available. available, but then if you ask someone if they're available, that might be leading to other things too.
How so?
Like, relationship-wise, are you single, married, separated, divorced, or is it complicated? Available. Do you have space and time for someone else to come in your life right now?
You know you
Yes
just
or no?
you just jumped off all the way off the track and went in a whole different direction, right? But I get your point. We have to say what we mean and mean what we say. So you might be checking me right now. So let me see how I can get out of this.
Okay.
When I called you on the phone, I said, "Did you get what you were doing done?" And you said,
Yeah.
right. So I had already set the tone for where I was going. And then I said, "So does that mean you're available now?" So how could you mistake what I said based on how I started that? Was there any mistaking if I meant whether you were single or available or seeing someone? When I asked you, you were expecting my call, and then I said, uh, did you get what you got done? Did you get what you had to get done? And are you available now? How could that have been mistaken for anything other than, are you available to chat with me now? Tell me. I want to hear this. I'm going to wait. If I had something to drink, I'd drink now like this.
Asking Mr. Travis, since you sound like an attorney tonight, and I know that's where you are in your other life, when you started talking about what it means when you ask someone, are you free? Do you remember what you said?
Yeah, I remember what I said. Why don't you remind me, though? Confirm what I said.
Okay. So free can be taken in different ways, and so that's basically what I was saying about asking someone if they're available.
Okay. So, okay. Well, there was no mistaking when I asked you the question, right? You knew what I meant.
I completely, totally understood what you meant when you asked me if I was free. Yes, I am free and available to have a conversation with Travis Bridges tonight.
Awesome.
On YouTube Live to
So,
discuss whatever you want to discuss.
So let's get right on into it then.
Okay.
When I say somebody was cussing somebody out, do you know what I mean? Do you know what kind of language they were using or what they may have been saying? If I was saying I heard somebody and they were cussing pretty bad, do you know what I mean when I say that, right?
Yes, that means they were using some profane words.
Okay, some words that have been deemed in society as not necessarily appropriate in certain settings, correct?
Yes.
So here's my question. Here's my question to you. Is cussing bad, yes or no?
Yes, it's according to who the listener
You're
is.
giving me an explanation. I'm looking for a yes or no first. Is cussing bad, yes or no?
Yes.
It is?
Yes.
Okay. In a short answer as you can, tell me why cussing is bad.
It's profane language. And again, if who's the listener, how am I perceiving what you're saying and why you chose those words? I mean, I think it's how you use the words.
Mm-hmm. So, cussing is bad, right? That's what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
And it's bad because what again?
It's because it's profane language. It's language that's not good for the ears, as some would say.
Okay. Okay, thanks for your response. I really appreciate it. Can I give you my response now?
Sure.
Okay, I've said it last week and even again tonight. I don't want to say it's good or bad, so don't ask me. I'm going to try to get away from that question. I don't want to answer whether it's good or bad. However, I do want to respond to whether it's good or bad. I want to say that it can be inappropriate at certain times. To say that it's bad would be pretty tough, and to say that it's not bad could, send another message. But I will say that it, based on what we know and how we were taught and how it's accepted in society, it can be more inappropriate than bad.
Right, because it can be offensive.
and that's why it could be bad.
Right, because the listener, because your audience could be just totally different. You could be in the right setting with the right people, and it's fine. It's not inappropriate. It's not offensive at all. But then if you go into another setting with other people, church folk, different social settings, it would be offensive.
Okay, so let me ask you this. We're going to break it down to the least common denominator.
Please.
Is it bad or is it inappropriate? Which would be, I guess, the most, I don't know. I'm trying to soften it. Soften it. Maybe if I had revised the question and saying, is cussing inappropriate? Because bad means it's bad. Well, let me just ask you this. Let me go a different route. Is cussing ever good?
Well, you know what, Travis? I don't know what kind of audience you have tonight, but there are times that people.
Hold on, stop for a second. You're not going to be able to take back what you're saying. Okay?
Oh my God.
Okay, so hold on. Let me ask you this.
My mind is going somewhere else, and I think I should be allowed to say that.
Okay, so is cussing ever good? Yes or no?
No, not to me.
Okay. Is cussing always bad?
Oh wow, Travis.
Yes or no?
Tonight, is cussing always bad?
Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So is there ever any time to cuss that it is appropriate?
See?
Yes or no?
I say that earlier. Okay.
Is there ever any time that cussing is appropriate? Yes or no?
No, there's not a time it's appropriate. However, there are times when it may just slip out. But again, the audience, the people that's in that circle at that moment in time, husband and wife, perfect example. Should be, I have to be careful how I'm trying to say this, but could be in the act of doing something together with one another. And because of what's going on at the time, a curse word could slip out.
Oh my God.
I'm just saying, and I'm not saying that's appropriate, but I'm just saying it will happen. But those two will probably at the time not even seeing it as bad. They just enjoying themselves,
I knew I shouldn't have called you.
Why?
Never mind. I'm not going to change the subject. I'm just going to move on. We can come back to that after that cools off a little bit.
I feel like I did something totally bad.
No, there's no bad or good. It may be appropriate or timely or relative. I don't know. I just, I don't like being kind of, what is the word I'm looking for? Lost for words. Because I had no idea where you were going, and I probably. So let me just go back to my question: Is cussing ever appropriate or ever good? Ever? You already said no to those.
No.
So then your direct answer is so that it is. So your answer is cussing. Why is cussing so bad? So you think it is bad?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I think it's because of the nature of the language, it being offensive, explicit, and all that stuff.
Okay.
It being profane.
Real quick, what do you think of my response of saying that, I'm not saying that it's good or bad. I'm not even going to answer that question, and I'm glad nobody's making me not answer. But what do you think? What do you think? What do you think of my responses to saying that it can be inappropriate?
What do I think of your
What do you think of my response? Instead of saying it's good or bad or it's bad or good, I saying that it can be inappropriate.
I think that response is perfectly fine and safe. So
But
his
that
response,
doesn't support. We would be on opposite ends of the fence if be your answer. You said it's bad. It's always bad, and it's never appropriate. So when I say it can be inappropriate, that means that maybe at some point in time or some place that maybe it can be appropriate. So I'm kind of
right?
and I don't mean to cut us off, but we're out of time. I've got to get better at closing. But I do want to jump on one more subject before we go. You've got a minute and a half to answer this last question, so we can come back to
Oh,
that another time. The truth not being good enough. Should the truth always be enough, and should it be good enough? And should the truth always be accepted? Yes or no?
Travis, you asked like you there was like three different things in
I
there.
know. So pick one, or do you want me to just pick one? Because I asked you the same
Pick the
question.
la-
Just
pick the
okay.
last one.
Okay. Should the truth always be accepted? Yes or no?
It should be yes.
Tell me why.
Because what truth brings freedom. You don't want to put yourself in bondage by not telling the truth. And I know that some people, it's almost like people they prefer to believe a lie over the truth. But so I can walk in my freedom, I'm going to speak the truth. So
Well,
it should be accepted.
so you just kind of changed gears, and I appreciate you bringing my attention to it. I wasn't necessarily talking about speaking the truth. I was talking about accepting the truth. Should the truth always be accepted?
Yes.
Hmm. Okay, now I just got a comment from, and I only have like 2 minutes, and she would say this right now. Our monk said the truth should not always be accepted. Why would you think someone would think the truth should not always? Give me one example if you can come up with one. If you can't, that's fine. But why? Why? Tell me first. Why should the truth always be accepted? You already answered that, so I won't ask you that again. You said because it's freeing, and the truth shall set you free if you know the truth. So, as she said, the truth should not always be accepted. Can you think of any case where the truth should not be accepted?
Well, it's okay. I see it in a whole different way now. So it's according to what someone's truth is. When you
No,
deal
hold on
with,
a
let's
second.
say,
Stop for a second. Hold on. I'm not talking about someone's truth. I'm talking about the truth. The truth is something that has
the
been
truth,
tried. The truth is pure. The truth is what it is. The truth is,
right?
what actually happened. I'm not talking about someone's story or what they want to believe or what they think or I'm talking about the truth being what has
Right.
been, cleared and proven as a truth. Because, you can have facts and then not have truth. I'm not talking about that.
That's
I'm talking about the truth.
right.
There's something that, so my question is, can you think of anything where the truth should not be accepted? Because she says the truth should not always be accepted. Can you think of, with 30 seconds to answer, why the truth should not be accepted ever? Real quick.
No, I can't think of anything at this moment.
Good answer, and neither can I. So I don't know what she's talking about, but I guess I'll get with her on that another day. Listen, I'm going to let you go because I'm going to try to be on time getting out of here. You know I love you so much, right?
Love you too.
And I appreciate you being there for me. This has been a rough start over the last few weeks, but I promise you it's going to get better. I'm excited about where I'm going, what I'm doing. Even the rough start, I don't despise. No small beginnings. This is definitely a teeny tiny one, but I see great things ahead. I thank you in advance for your well wishes and your prayers and support of everything that I've been doing so far. So I'm going to let you go. Do me a small favor as you make your way through the rest of the week. Will you do me a favor, please?
Yes.
Find somebody that you need to say I love you to, and don't just say it. If you need to say I love you through an apology or through something, say it and then find a way to show it. Will you do that for me? Because I know there's somebody that you need to say that to.
Yes. I
Okay.
can do that.
All right. We're going to talk later. Thank you so much for being there for me. I appreciate you, okay?
I welcome.
All right. Have a good night. That's another edition of Swym Pwym, and I'm going to get out of here on time, y'all. Swym Pwym is an acronym for Say What You Mean and Play What You Mean. I'm in a different location right now, and I'm going to be doing some things different over the next few weeks. I'm working on my third CD project. I'm going to be writing my book that I've been threatening to write. I'm going to be working on a foreign language, and I'm going to be improving my live streams, both the talk segment as well as the music. I'm thanking you in advance for your support and your prayers. And if you would like to be a part of my talks segment, please feel free to do so by sending me an email to travisbridges2@aol.com. That's Travis Bridges and the number 2 at AOL.com. Everybody in the room, R. Monk, Robin Bridges, WB, Anthony Morrow, Tabitha Dow, everybody who was with me tonight, thank you so much. Hope to see you again very soon. Until the next time, find somebody you need to say I love you to. Don't just say it, show it. Until the next time, I will see you.